I love. Today I'm going to make a Mediterranean style tart with dates and almonds. And for my vegan viewers, be aware I'm going all in with butter and eggs, which you can of course replace with vegan butter and flax eggs. So let's have a quick look at the ingredients. I'm using spelt flour, eggs, coconut sugar, some orange blossom water, which you can get at Asian shops. I have a sugar-free apricot jam here, organic butter, almond flour and dates. This is a quite traditional recipe in the Mediterranean kitchen, and what I tried to do is just update it a little bit, make it more wholesome and leave out the white flours and refined sugars. And the exact measurements I will just write down in the description box below. Let's get started. Grab a nice mixing bowl and sift in your spelt flour. To the flour, I'm adding 100 grams of cold butter, add a small pinch of salt, and then with your fingers incorporate all of the butter in the flour until you get a nice and crumbly texture. So we are getting here, we have a nice lovely crumble, and this is the point where we can add 2 tablespoons of really cold water and 1 large egg, and then combine everything until you have a nice soft dough. So now we have this lovely soft ball of dough, and I'm going to roll this out on a dusted surface and get my dough over here and roll it out. Here comes the tricky part. I will try to gently roll my crust up on my rolling pin. Don't squeeze it, like that. And here I have my 30 centimeter tart dish, and I'm going to line it with my crust dough. And I already greased my pie dish with some butter. There we go. Softly press the pastry. A quick trim of the excess pastry. Grab a fork and prick a few holes in your crust. Like that. And now cover it up and let it sit in a cool place until you need it. Let's move to step number 2, which is the filling. I cleaned my mixing bowl, and to that I'm going to add my butter, about 120 grams. So make sure your butter is room temperature. To that I'm adding 120 grams of coconut sugar. And now I'm going to beat this up until it's all incorporated and light. So it does take a few minutes, but this is the texture I'm going for. 1 egg going in. I will probably need another one. I'll give it a mix and have a look. Now really beat it up, make it fluffy. 2nd egg going in. Mix it well. Then my orange blossom water. I will need about 1.5 tablespoons. Now I'm adding my ground almonds, 120 grams, fold it in. Filling is done and it's ready to be transferred onto my crust. So just gently spread it on there. Now for the dates, remove the pit, cut them in half, and just place them gently on top of your filling. So this is going in the oven at 200 Celsius for about 10 to 15 minutes. I actually should have mentioned it that I have been preheating my oven at 200 Celsius. After about 10 to 15 minutes, you reduce your heat to about 180 and then bake it for another 20 minutes. When you go to your local health food store, you often can get jams without any added sugar. They often sweeten it with apple juice or something like that. So I'm using apricot jam today. And what I did is just I pressed it through a sieve, about 3 tablespoons, and I put it on a bowl of hot water just to warm it up a little. And now I'm going to brush the jam on top of my tart. So, you know the hardest part, right? That's the waiting for the tart to cool, which is absolutely really important because you don't want this beauty to fall apart. I'm going to cut into it in about half an hour, and for now I'm just going to say bye. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Any tips, comments are really welcome, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.